I have gotten stuck somewhere. Whether that is in following the traditional faith, in the idea of liberating myself and everybody else, in the notion of becoming an intellectual and a modernist, whatever it is, I'm stuck. My perspective has become limited. Even a great Arif is limited. For as soon as he can say I'm an Arif, shows he is less than what is required. The whole essence of life and journey is in the word known as becoming, to become. And that deep I that is there, when I revert into myself, I will find that at that point I need to give in. But the older I become, the more accustomed I become to ways of life, to ideas, to particular set, trend, culture, the more rigid I become from within. It takes great strength to break that. And no matter how many times we break that, it re-emerges in a different form. And that is why when a person is on an evolutionary trend, you find that their challenges enhance. Their challenges are deepened. Why? Because Allah causes them emergence at every level. But my challenge has always been one of risk. Where will I get my food from tomorrow, for tomorrow? That's been my only challenge. What does that show to me and tell me about myself? That there has been no fundamental change in me. There has been no fundamental change. It's a beautiful system Allah has created. It's a system of struggle and change in order to break the mold all the time. But after it's broken, I become molded again at the same level. And hence my tests never change. I'm always worried about my sustenance. What does that show to me? There is no subtle test taking place in me. My intellectual world is not being challenged. Forget the emotional world. That is a huge test for one that is worthy of it. A person who is challenged there at the core of their being. At most, my intellectual world is challenged, my Islam is challenged. What does that show to me? That there is, in the truest sense, no progression. That is the place where we need to be. That the tests become more and more subtle in Allah Latif. Allah is very subtle. Sometimes by Allah, we feel invincible. We will say, even if an army of 1,000,000 stands in front of me, forget the sword. Swords isn't easy. Cut me into pieces. What's the big deal? I will retain my individuality. Yes. I will be me. Kill me and tear me to pieces. That's the easiest jihad that we can do. But sometimes we feel invincible in our intellectual worlds. Even if 1,000 scholars come in front of me, I will be able to defend myself. At that level, Allah very subtly sometimes removes a component of thought and the whole universe comes crumbling down. This is more subtle. This is more subtle. When we find we are lost altogether. But more subtle than that is, and it gets so subtle, it's like removing a hair from butter. It's so subtle. And with that, Allah brings a mighty warrior to his knees. But these are the beautiful tests that are supposed to take place. And they're supposed to become more and more subtle. And they are intended to break us and to crumble us so that we may emerge as finer beings.